Amazon. I could gaze on the agony of that horse for hours, and I think I should continue to discover new beauties. The Crusader, a colossal equestrian statue of Godfrey of Bouillon, is also very imposing. The entire floor is covered in the centre of the avenue, from east to west, with beautiful statues, models, etc. We ascended to one of the galleries for the purpose of taking a bird's eye view of the gay, busy scene, and a most splendid scene was thrown open to our gaze. Far as the eye could reach, the building was alive with gaily dressed people, who amidst statues and trophies, and trees and fountains, wandered as in the groves of some enchanted land. As I strode onwards, I came to where a tiny fountain sent up its silvery jet of eau de Cologne, and an assistant of Jean Marie Farina, from a little golden spoon, poured on my handkerchief, unasked, the odoriferous essence. Then we lingered to witness two of the noblest cakes, the sight of which ever gladdened the heart of a bride. Gunter, the great pastry cook, was the architect of the one which is a triumph of taste. The other was adorned with Cupid and Psyche like emblems. Then came wax flowers, beaded artfully with glass, so as to appear spangled with dewdrops. Then we inspected cashmere shawls, on which I saw many a lady cast looks of admiration, and, I almost fancied, of covetousness. Down again, and we are beneath the transept. Beautiful head, far higher than the tops of the huge elm trees, is a crystal arch which spans this intersecting space. Around are marble statues, which gleam lustrously amid the foliage of tropical plants, which, shielded from the chilling air without, seem to be quite at home here. And in the midst uprises Osler's crystal fountain, a splendid affair, 27 feet in height, and consisting of 4 tons of cut glass. So exquisitely is it arranged that no metal, either of joint or pipe, can be seen. It is one entire and perfect chrysolite. From its lofty summit issues forth a dome of water, which separates and falls in prismatic showers into a spacious basin beneath. There are 3 other fountains, but this is the monarch of all. On either side of this beautiful production of Birmingham manufacture are 2 equestrian statues of the Queen and Prince Albert, about which I cannot speak in admiration. Groups of figures line the sides of the transept, and there is a Puck, which I would like all friends to look at. Oh, he is alive with fun, and there marble speaks and laughs. We have been greatly delighted with the English room of sculpture. There is a fine portrait statue of Flaxman, from the chisel of Franks; a very clever statue of John Wesley, but if I were to chronicle all the sculptures here, I may as well write a catalogue at once. But before I quit the subject of marble, let me just allude to the Italian gallery. There the specimens are indeed exquisite, and remind us that the genius of art yet loves to linger in the land of cypress and myrtle, in that beautiful country, where the poet's eye and painter's hand are most divine. Among the gems of marble is one which I told you was the only possible rival of Powers's Greek Slave. This lovely production is the Veiled Vesta. It represents a young and exquisitely formed girl, kneeling and offering her oblation of the sacred fire. Her face is veiled, but every feature is distinctly visible, as it were, through the folds which cover her face. So wonderfully is the veil-like appearance produced, that myself and others were almost inclined to believe that some trick of art had been practised, and a film of gauze actually hung over the features. It was not so, however; the hard marble, finely managed, alone caused the deception. Raphael Monti of Milan is the illustrious artist of the Veiled Vesta. One of the most interesting machines in the whole exhibition is the envelope machine of Messrs. De la Rue and Company, of London. In its operations it more resembles the efforts of human intellect than anything I have seen before in machinery. It occupies but a small space, and is worked by a little boy. In a second, and as if by magic, a blank piece of paper is folded, gummed, and stamped, and in fact converted into a perfect envelope. As soon as finished, a pair of steel fingers picks it up, lays it aside, and pushes it out of the way in the most orderly manner possible. These envelopes, so made, are given to all who choose to accept them. Opposite to this machine is the stand of Gillot, a steel pen celebrity. Here are pens of all sizes, and of various materials. One monster pen might fit a Brobdingnagian fist, for it is 2 feet long, and has a nib 1/4 of an inch broad, and there are others so small that no one but a Lilliputian lady could use them. Between these extremes are others of various dimensions, arranged in a very tasteful manner. Something must be got out of this branch of business, for it is only a month or two since Mr. Gillot purchased an estate for £90,000 sterling. Here, too, is a novelty, the model of St. Stephen's Church, Bolton, Lancashire. The model and the church itself are both composed of terra cotta. This material was also employed in the construction of the principal fittings, such as the screen, pews, organ gallery, pulpit, etc. This is a new adaptation of terra cotta. The spire severely tests its capabilities, as it is of open Gothic or tracery work. A large model of Liverpool is beautifully constructed to scale, and must be the result of immense labor. It is 25 feet long, and exhibits at a glance a bird's eye view of the town, the docks, the river Mersey, and the adjacent places. Hundreds of miniature vessels, amongst them the Great Britain, crowd the docks. Fleets of merchantmen are seen on the Mersey, sailing to and from the port, and in the busy streets, so minutely delineated that any particular house may be distinguished, numerous vehicles are seen, and hundreds, too, of pigmy men and women are observed walking in the public ways. In short, it is Liverpool in a glass case, and no mean exhibition in itself. The Thames Plate Glass Company exhibit the largest plate of glass in the world. Its dimensions are 18 feet 8 inches by 10 feet. There is not a blemish on its brilliant surface, and it is as true as possible. It is placed in such a position that it reflects the whole length of the main avenue of the Crystal Palace, and the effect produced is superb. A Catholic bookseller from Belgium makes quite a display of his editions of devotional works for every country under heaven, and there too are the effigies of Cardinal Borromeo, Thomas à Becket, and the late Archbishop of Paris, all arrayed in full pontificals. Their crosiers are very richly jewelled. If the apostles of Christ could revisit the earth, they would never fancy that these were their successors in the work and patience of the gospel. Few things have impressed me more than the exquisite carvings and elaborate work of the cabinet ware, and I must, Charley, try to describe one piece of furniture which excites universal praise. It is a cabinet made by John Stephens of Taunton. It was prepared at great cost, and is the gem of the carved work in the exhibition. The wood of which it was composed was a walnut tree, which not long ago flourished near Taunton. In order that you may not suppose I praise everything too highly, and without sufficient ground for admiration, I shall give you a particular description of this incomparable piece of furniture. It represents, in 4 beautifully carved male figures, executed after the style of Gibbons, the periods of youth, manhood, maturity, and old age, whilst other 4 female figures, beautifully brought up in good relief, are representative of the passions. Here there was an opportunity for displaying some fine needlework, and Miss Kingsbury, a lady of the town, who has received from the hand of royalty a reward for her talents, has turned the opportunity to good account, and produced some appropriate work, displaying a skill truly astonishing. This is not the least attractive portion of the cabinet, and, as we shall again have to advert to it in its order, we leave it for the present. The carved figure of the youth represents him at 20 years of age. The countenance is finely wrought, and marks the innocency and candour of the young heart, the open brow, the love-lighted eye, all exemplifying characteristics of that period of life, untrammelled with care or anxious thought. In his hair, well brought out from the solid wood, is intertwined the violet, the primrose, and the cowslip, emblematical of the season, being the spring-time of life. In the right hand of the figure is attached a portion of a festoon of carved flowers, which connects it with the other 4 figures. The left hand is extended, pointing to manhood. This figure denotes the period when 40 summers have ripened the man, and brought the noblest work of God to the stage of his more powerful intellect, his keener judgment, stronger frame, and more lasting energy. These characteristics are most admirably depicted. In his locks are carved the rose, the lily, the pink, and the carnation, the strawberry and the gooseberry, emblematical of the summer time